Hello, gender blenders. It's hump day with Gavin and Sarah. No, Sarah. She's at her mom's this weekend. I'm sorry that my video is late again this week. It's been a really rough couple of weeks. I hurt my back real bad. And I've been kind of hopped up on pain medicine and steroids and stuff like that. So even if I had made a video, it would have been very amusing, but it would have not been very informative. So that's why I held off. This week's topic is mannerisms. And I had this whole big thing planned out. Sarah and I had it planned out that we were going to do to make it a little more interesting, because it gets kind of redundant just sitting here in front of the camera and talking. So definitely next week we're going to do something a little new and exciting. But this week it's just going to be another talk. As far as mannerisms go, obviously I'm pre-T, pre-op, all that good stuff. So it's not quite as imperative to me as a trans guy to be so focused on mannerisms. For me personally, at this point in my life, I'm not trying really hard to pass, just because I don't think it's going to be possible until I'm actually on T and been on T for a little while. But I think you have to kind of stop and ask yourself, what kind of man are you? What kind of man do you want to mold yourself into? What's your definition of your masculinity? Because it's not up to anyone but ourselves to define our own masculinity and how we want to present that masculinity to society at large. So, with that having been said, for me personally, my masculinity is such that I'm not out to be like a man's man. I'm not out to be this hyper macho, give me a beer, bitch, I'm just kidding. I hope that didn't offend anyone. I'm not out to be like that. I'm out to be me. I wasn't socialized as a male. I wasn't raised as a male. So obviously I'm lacking all of that knowledge that comes as you progress through those years as a male. The only advice that I could offer at this point is, pretty much what everyone else has said: just study, watch, observe, and emulate. Figure out what feels right for you, what feels good for you, what feels comfortable. I don't ever really seek to surround myself with primarily heterosexual people that don't know about me, just because that's not a situation I would feel comfortable being in. Now, if they're heterosexual and are open and accepting and are okay with me being trans, that's fine. But I really don't foresee myself ever going totally stealth, just because I want to be more of an activist for the trans community and get knowledge out there and all that jazz. So I guess for me, not wanting to really go stealth, it's not as imperative for me to present as a man-to-man, like a jock dude or whatever. But I think, to begin with, those are some important questions to ask yourself. What kind of man do you want to present as, and how do you define your masculinity? Because there are trans guys out there that are very effeminate, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I've even told Sarah on several occasions, I hope you're prepared, because a lot of people may think you're with a gay dude, because I'm just not into launching myself into any kind of stereotype or anything, but that's just me. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, I wish I had more advice to give. Anywho, yeah, that's my video. Right on. How's everybody doing? Huh? I haven't heard a lot from people lately, so I wonder how everybody's doing. How are our viewers doing? I said this in my last video, but if anybody has any topic suggestions or things they'd like to hear about that would otherwise be considered taboo, please don't hesitate to ask us, because those are the kind of things that we want to address on this channel. And we want everyone that watches this channel to know that we come from a place of love and acceptance. And if anybody ever needs anything to talk or vent or anything, don't hesitate to shoot me a message. My personal channel is Freeing Gavin. Just hit me up. I feel it's really important that everybody out there in the community that watches these videos knows that you do have a very strong support system here. And if there's anything that we can ever do for you, don't hesitate to ask, and we'll do the best we can. Anyway, much love to everyone, and I hope everyone is doing well and is blessed. And I'll try to be on time next week. Punctuality has never been a strong suit for me. Anyway, peace.